The Celtic Unrestricted View is sponsored by AB Entertainment. It's a DJ and entertainment business. And we are also partnered by MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. Both our sponsor and our partner are on social media and can be found on Facebook or Instagram. So feel free, guys, to check them out as they offer fantastic services, and enjoy the upcoming episode. Hail, hail. Good evening and welcome along to the Celtic Unrestricted View. It's Monday night, it's a dial-in, talk to Tims. Joining me this evening, my two good men, Mr. Ryan Clifford and Mr. Alan Stirling. Well, lads, there's lots to get through. Celtic 5-star again, and the showdown yesterday with Falkirk, running out victorious of 5-2 winners. And also, Big Adam Eder getting a brace, Nicholas Kuhn getting a brace. Loads to get through, lads. How are we? Ryan, it's good to see you, mate, and it's good to see that you almost gave me a smile there, but surely you can do better than that. That's better. I take it Sean Maloney's back, and he's took his hoodie away, wee man, because you've no got one on the night. So, how are we?
I'm all good, mate. I was potentially going to shove on the salmon hoodie for the night for a wee change, but I thought, nah, I'll get a boost for that tonight. So, wee Sean then drop it after me, so he's decided to give me that hoodie, but we'll keep that for the winter nights when it gets to -12 and 15 in that day after January and that, mate. So we'll deal with that then. But obviously, yesterday's result, positive at the end of it. So that's the biggest thing. Another semi-final Hampden. There will be bits of critical moments of the game, but overall, cut football's about winning. So the main thing is we've got through another semi-final, at Hampden. Tough tie against Aberdeen, but plenty to go through till we get to that stage. But aye, all good, mate. Quiet weekend on a day job, mate. So all good. Hope you two are well as well.
Yeah, I'm good. Alan, how are you, big man?
Yeah, very well. Hope you guys are well and everyone that's watching as well. Decent weekend. We might not have been vintage Celtic. I think we possibly relied on the kind of first team, the subs that come on later on in the game to get us over the line, but at the end of the day, it is cup football, as Ryan says. We're through in the next round. Not our best performance by any means. There is a lot to kind of dig into with the kind of squad players, but at the end of the day, we're through to the next round, through to the semi-final, and that's all that matters. That's all the history books will say, that we're in the semi-final against Aberdeen on November the 2nd, and we can look forward to that.
100%. Before we come to all the nitty-gritty yesterday and everything else, obviously, as you folks know, the guys that are tuning in, first of all, good evening. Hope everybody's well. Hope you had a lovely weekend. And myself, Ryan and Alan have been very vocal on this point. And the Celtic Unrestricted View are hosting a live night. Hold on, I'll take the running banner away for you. So everyone can see that photo. So as you can see, guys, we're doing a live event on the 19th of October. It is a Saturday night. It's in the Morven Lounge in Glasgow. And Joe Miller as the guest who's going to be speaking with us. On the night, you're getting an interview with Joe, a chance for a photo with Joe, and a live DJ as well. Tickets are priced at £10. And during this live broadcast, I will put up the details where you can pay into our PayPal account as well. So if you want your tickets, guys, you can either get them from ourselves by paying into the PayPal, and then obviously give your name so that we can add you to, I don't want to say a register, guys, but a kind of guest list so that we can expect you on the evening. And then on the night, you'll be handed a wristband so that you can be identified by ourselves to make sure everybody has paid their money to come along. So, lads, I don't know about you, Ryan. Obviously, I'll start off with yourself. This is one I'm looking forward to. I remember Joe. I know I was a young lad when Joe played with Celtic, but I do remember Joe. Joe's a great guy. He's a big Celtic fan. He's just like us. And I can't actually wait to sit down and get a wee chat with him, mate.
Yeah, it'll be very good, mate. He's a fantastic guest. Obviously played with Celtic for a long time. He's been a manager as well, been a coach, been a player, professional player. So he's done it all, JP. And he's obviously played with the club that we support and the club that we idolise, players that we've idolised, and he's lived the dream like us three haven't. So it's good to get these guys' stories. It's good to get to know Joe's kind of background, how he grew up, how he got into his profession, and obviously then into coaching and managers, his players he's played with, etc. So it'll be a fantastic night, and it's always good to talk to these guys because it's not something you get to know very often. It's very hard to speak to guys of that ilk these days. So obviously because it's very hard for me. They've got all these circuits to do, and when you do get a chance to spend the night with them and get another story, mate, it's good for us. It's also good for the Celtic fan base, and hopefully it's a good Celtic night as well, because that's the main thing. It's for the fans, and get to know Joe's story and hear it all about his career.
100%. Alan, I know you're not quite as old as me. Certainly not as wise as me, but
you can tell that.
we have been trying to get you there. I feel like Brendan Rodgers on this podcast. I am trying to develop it, but it's taking a wee bit of time. But we'll get there. Don't worry. But no, mate, it's one of those ones I'm really looking forward to as well.
Yeah, definitely. Very excited by the prospect of the night. The two daddies, and you can join along. So, no, but it will be a very
the gaffer's always there. Don't worry about it. I need to oversee everything that goes on. I can't trust
You'll need to phone Webby. He's a gaffer.
Aye, but he's always in his own manner.
He's in his manner.
He needs to learn his manners, if anything else.
No, it's very exciting. Looking forward to it, especially a kind of Celtic player. Should be a fantastic night. A photo opportunity with Joe, but more importantly, for guys that are watching this, you can get a photo opportunity with my good self. Guys like Stephen Kennedy they can caress and run their fingers through my tinted blonde hair. So I know they've been kind of obsessing and thinking about this constantly.
You better hope, by the way, folks, you better hope he's not dyed his hair.
I'll get it dyed.
It's all right. I was going to say, you better hope he's not just dyed his hair.
But in all seriousness, it will be a fantastic night. Obviously, Bev's going to be there DJing, speak to Joe Miller, and I'm sure the three of us will be kind of catching up with everybody that watches the pod and all our subscribers and viewers. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. An ex-Celtic player that is quite a distinguished career as well. Very talented, very successful at times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything to look forward to, and I hope to see all you guys there.
Yeah, that's the key thing, folks. You heard Alan there. We hope to see all you guys there as well. So, again, guys, I will put up just now. I'll do it just now, and then I'll do it before we finish off. I hope I've got this bang on. Ryan, you can keep me in check if it's wrong, mate, and I'll change it. Don't worry. That's the PayPal.
.co.uk.
Is it .co? I knew it was. See, I was going to do that, and then
I thought it was at half
I'd have
10.
That's a half-10 email address.
Is that off an email address? Right,
At Babe Station.
Aye.
But right, here we go. So that there, folks, is the PayPal. If you want to purchase your place for the live night, so you can pay £10 into that PayPal account. When you do, please leave your name so we know who you are. And if you're paying for more than one person, leave a times and however many people who's going to be with you. It's just so we can identify it and then we can get you onto the list. From tomorrow, there will be access for you to be able to go to the Morven and pay your £10 there also. It's entirely up to you, whatever way you want to do it. If people live close by and want to go to the pub, they can do it that way. If not, that's the PayPal that you can pay your £10 in. But again, when you do pay your £10 in, please leave your name. That's the key point. Please leave your name. So we know who you are and so we can get you onto the guest list. I don't want to say register because that makes it sound like we're all at school here and, you know, guest list. Well, aye. I know, listen, by the way. You got the second bit right, the Diddy. There's a couple of Diddies. I know a few Diddies myself, but
Aye.
we'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Aye, don't worry, it's too late now to say sorry, but don't worry about that.
We'll get into that when we're not filming, right? Yeah, that's the only time we'll get into that.
We can have a serious chat about that later some other time. But I'm going to take the PayPal off now. But again, if you've missed it now, you'll get an opportunity towards the end of tonight's show. And you can get it sorted then. But more important things, Ryan. Celtic, obviously, quarter-final of the Cup. And, you know, we start off, we go down 1-0, bring it back to 1 each. Goes 2-1, we're 2-1 down before half-time. A wee bit in uncharted waters, because we've not been anywhere near being behind in games so far this season. But again, mate, it doesn't, for me personally, it doesn't surprise me with this group of players because, again, we turn up and you know, big players like Idar and Nicholas Kuhn obviously comes off the bench, and you've got to show a character when you go down to the any team at all, especially at home. But I thought they'd done that really, really well, and I thought I don't think they had to dig deep because I've seen I missed the first half live yesterday, obviously, because it was my good lady's birthday. But I managed to catch it again today. And the way the first half went, I'm more wanting to put it down to Falkirk playing well. And yeah, it's okay for us not to be 100%. Again, the kind of week we had, like Brendan says, it's 3 competitions, Ryan. You're putting a lot into, especially Champions League, you're putting a lot into those kind of workouts, mate. So, but again, mate, the quality shows in the end, and obviously we prevail winners, and it runs away comprehensively for us.
The first half wasn't great, mate. I think, obviously, we did say on Friday, I think the majority of fan base would have said the majority of the back line and a few players would have been chopped and changed. Personally, I think in hindsight, maybe it was too many changes because the full cohesion of the team the first half was well off. Yes, Falkirk did play well, and you've got to obviously give him massive credit for doing that. But we've got guys who we say we've got a good squad, right? Strength and depth and stuff like that. Ralston came in, didn't do himself any favours. Welsh didn't do himself any favours whatsoever. First half, Trusty was a wee bit nervous looking.
Do you think so, Ryan?
A wee bit, mate. He was a wee bit, mate, with his passing. At the Alex Valle, good going forward. Defensively, no, didn't look great. But I'm going to give... Nobody can judge Trusty and Alex Valle a 45, 60 minutes against Falkirk, or even 90 minutes, because that's just... You can't judge a player too early. And obviously, Alex Valle was playing for a Palma, who didn't give him any help. Palma was a disgrace. I personally think it could be one of his last games for Celtic, because his attitude was terrible. He was lazy. Just didn't look like he was... That's the sort of games where these guys should be showing up pretty easily. And it didn't seem like that, mate. It didn't seem like that. Falkirk gave him a right good challenge, and I think we can all put to bed now about if Alistair Johnson gets injured for European football, we're in soapy bubble. We're in soapy bubble, and that's no disrespect to Anthony Ralston, but the quality of player is nowhere near Alistair Johnson. Stephen Welsh, Nerowski had a better 8 minutes than Welsh had the full game. Now, whatever Nerowski's doing in training or behind the scenes, he must be absolutely pony if Stephen Welsh is still getting game time. And that's no disrespect to Welsh, because they've come through the academy, they're still playing at a good level, but they're not good enough to play with Celtic every week. And they even came in now and even play against Falkirk. So, I don't know, mate. It's maybe just showing us that maybe some of the, if you want to call them squad players, are maybe not the best of it to kind of rely on in certain games. But you can't be too critical of the full team or the full game, because look, he's changed the team. You come off a European game, and you've still through to a semi-final. So, listen, the first half wasn't great, mate, but the subs changed the game overall.
I thought it was quite interesting. Obviously, I was out yesterday, as you know, and I was getting back through the text in the chat with you lads. I thought it was quite good when you says, can't be too critical now and don't jump the gun too early, big man, because we could go in the game, win the game 5-2. My question to you is did you gamble responsibly with that, man?
No, I don't bet online anymore, mate. So no, I don't. No, I didn't. I wish I did.
Nice one. Well, before we go any further, we've got my first caller of this evening, and it is indeed. Many know him on here as a lookalike for Graham Souness. I just know him as Francis, and here he is. It's Francis Lester. Good evening, Francis. Right, I hope you're well, mate, and I hope you're feeling better.
Good evening, lads. Yeah, after that last 2 weeks, that terrible virus, man. I obviously missed the Hearts game. I seen it on TV, but I managed to get back to the midweek European tie, which was fantastic, and I made the game yesterday with my grandson. But I'm still a wee bit ropey, but I'm alive. As all pensioners, you know what I mean? You're actually got my bed with the quilt on because I didn't get the winter payment. So
right up here, Francis, aren't you?
I'm under the quality farm. I needed that first half yesterday.
Oh Jesus!
So what's your thoughts, mate?
Oh, first half was brutal. I mean, I was raging. There was actually a big discussion in the main stand with me. I'm always pretty vocal at the games, you know, and I tend to call a spade, you know. But Ralston, Welsh, Palma were doing my head in, and there was people round about me as well. I think Welsh gave the ball away so many times, maybe as many times as Palma did, you know, and it was just driving me insane. And I don't understand how he's managing to walk into this team at all after that pre-season mistake he made at the pre-season friendly, if you remember. For me, that just told me everything about him, that he couldn't concentrate at that level. And to come into a game against a team who was about 30-odd games, they went unbeaten.
44.
44, well, even better than, you know what I mean? And a team that are playing as a team. I thought Brendan made a bit of a blunder with his starting lineup. I thought he made far too many changes. And you could see by the shape of the team, there was nothing was really happening in that first half. There was no quality. I mean, even people were starting to get on Big Eda's back, and I'm saying, and I wasn't impressed either. But he wasn't getting any service. You saw the difference when Kuhn came on. As soon as Kuhn came onto the park, Eda scores 2 brilliant goals. Could have maybe had another one as well. Yang, I mean, Yang put in more to the team than Palmer did in the whole time he was on the park. And this guy's, in my opinion, he's had plenty times to come in. We've heard them through the last few weeks going on social media and talking about, how he wants to be in the team. And he's going to work hard. He's going to come in and show us what he's got. He's not taking any chances. That was another great chance against a team that, let's be honest, he should be able to come out and show up against a team of that calibre. And he done absolutely nothing. I don't know what you think. But
obviously, Francis means a couple of points here. The one with Stephen Welsh, I can get where he's coming from. For me, he's been in the team often enough now. He's been about the first team for quite some time. But he's playing straight passes into the centre of midfield. He's giving the ball away. He's getting caught out of position. He's getting caught ball watching. Is it a worry for us that that's the only option we now have if Mike Nawrocki's maybe not as fit, or is he able to get himself to a certain position where he can then be the go-to guy? Because Brendan speaks at the end of the game and he says about Cameron Carter-Vickers carrying an injury, having to take injections, etc. And then obviously Francis's point regarding, I think I spoke to you today, big man, about this as well. I felt the same as Francis. I felt that Adam Ida wasn't receiving the service until we brought the quality on in Engels. And I felt even then, Adam Ida gets a confidence lift when he sees them coming off the bench, because he knows himself, I'm going to get a chance or two here because these guys can pick me out and obviously deliver.
I agree with mostly everything that Francis is saying. I think the first half was very challenging to watch. I think that's the most kind of positive way to put it. I think you're looking at... I was really excited about this game. I said this to you, both of you, the day and yesterday. I thought this was an opportunity for the guys, the fringe players, to come in and really, really push the guys that have been playing kind of first team football. Right, and you're looking at Valley, you're looking at Trusty, right? You guys, this is their first appearance, right? You can let that one slip. No matter if you feel they've done well or they've not done well, first appearance. But guys like Palmer, right? He just seems to be interested when it's all about him, right? If it's not all about him, he's posting these sad social media things like TikTok Todd across the road. That's what he's like. That's what he's reminding us. We can't slag Cantwell and no slag him. Right? Honestly, I think he'll be at the door in January because he's doing nothing. He's selfish. He doesn't care about the team. He's not a team player whatsoever. And as much as he's got goals or assists, for me, out the door. You're looking at Scales, Ralston, right? These guys, you've got to admire these guys. They've come through the youth system. What? Oh, Scales. Oh, Welsh and Ralston. I get the two of them mixed up because of Ryan. But they've come through the youth system, right? By the way,
we've nearly turned him, Alan. We've nearly turned him, Alan. Don't start confusing the two, whatever you do.
No, yeah.
Waiting for Scales to come on.
I bet you were missing him.
Aye. They have done fantastically well to a degree to get the living their dream. They're playing for Glasgow Celtic, but as Ryan says, the prospect and the thought of kind of Stephen Welsh or Tony Ralston coming on a Champions League game or starting a Champions League game against Borussia Dortmund, that is frightening the life out of me. I think that with all due respect to them, that is frightening the life out of me that we could line up with Stephen Welsh and Tony Ralston. And I get your point with Adam Ida as well, but Kyogo's that kind of player. Adam Ida was brought in as somebody different, a different type of striker that kind of hods up the ball, breaks up the play, makes the kind of chances. Now, if he's not getting the service, was his game not really to create the service? To hold that ball up and let the other wingers kind of progress as well. I think Adam Ida has got a massive, massive price tag to live up to. That's not his fault. That's what Celtic paid for him. That's what Celtic agreed with Norwich. But at the end of the day, the fans are looking at that as nearly a £10 million player. In the first half, he's struggling to kind of create a chance against a championship side in Falkirk. Now, I've still got every confidence because of last year that Adamida can make some sort of impact. But I think as time goes on, he's going to get more and more kind of hassle with the fans because of that price tag. That price tag on his head is he needs to kind of produce the goods kind of week on week. But thankfully, the second half we come on and when we made the changes, it was a lot more impressive. I think the Nicholas Kuhn was absolutely tremendous. I think the start of the season he's been absolutely incredible. I think he changed the game. I think Paulo Bernardo was good throughout the game. Engels was decent, but when you're looking at a standout player, I think Nicholas Kuhn was that standout player. I thought he was absolutely second to none in that second half.
Yeah, Ryan, obviously Francis touches on Stephen Welsh, and I've said my piece there, and obviously Alan did there as well. But you talk about Adamida. You know, as frustrated as we were in the first half, again, mate, you can't argue with the end outcome because then he goes on and scores a brace, and that's now 3 goals in 2 games. His first game in the Champions League, he puts the ball in the back of the net. So if he continues to do that, mate, I really don't see where people are going to be moaning.
His goals, but I'm going to agree with Alan. His goals gave him a pass yesterday because the first half his movement was terrible. Stood still, didn't move, and that's a guy that's meant to be powerful and good movement. And maybe it's just an half game. Listen, fans, we need to realise as well. Sometimes we're going to have half games this season. As much as how good we are in Scotland, we're going to have a stuffy 1-0 win against St Johnstone or a stuffy 1-0 win at Aberdeen. Yeah. It's not always going to be fast flowing football. But I agree with Alan in terms of I can only comment from my experience playing up front. If you're not getting the ball, you need to do something about it. You need to go deep, you need to go wide, you need to harry defenders, you need to run about. Didn't he make the Falkirk defenders move once in that first half? But then again, when the subs come on, he might have thought, you know what, I knew I'm going to get service, knew I might move, but it shouldn't take subs to come on for you to start moving about to go get the ball. But I'm like Aaron, I've said from after the break until now forward, it's down to Adamida to obviously get himself in the team, and I still think Kyogo. I know people say that at the start of the season, the people were saying some opinions, but he does better than Kyogo and things like that. Neighbour near it, but as it stands now, Kyogo's your main man. But Adamida's got different qualities, and I think that will help us in Europe. I.e., maybe away to Dortmund, he could play him to hold the ball up, but it all depends how Dortmund are going to be. They get beat comprehensively at the weekend there, so hopefully that continues. But Alan mentioned Kuhn, fantastic, and Francis mentioned absolutely brilliant. But for me, the standout was Bernardo. That guy's turned out to be an incredible player for us. That technique, by the way, don't downplay how good the volley that was. That was sensational to kind of stroke the one up and volley that, and then the ball obviously for Valley who done well. But Bernardo for me he's just unlucky that we've paid £11 million for Engels, because if no, he'd be in that team every week. Because that boy Engels is but by the looks of it, we've only seen him for 2 games, but he just looks at maybe at that bit gear better. But Bernardo for me, I think he's brilliant. And yesterday again, might be Falkirk, but he showed up, came off the bench, showed up. But like we mentioned there, Ralston, Welsh, Palmer, they guys didn't show up. And they guys came off the bench and showed up after 15-20 minutes. So that kind of shows you the level of quality that maybe could be sitting on the bench. And I'm agreeing with Alan. If Vickers has got to take another injection, I don't want to do it, but if he's got to do it, then he's got to do it, because we cannot play with Stephen Welsh next to Trusty, because Trusty is unknown to us. Never played Europe before, never played in the Champions League. Next to an untrusted Stephen Welsh, potentially Ralston, if Johnson's no fit. That's not good, mate.
Yeah, Francis, I think
before putting Welsh on.
Francis, I think we as Celtic fans tend to look at it on a one-sided basis. Yesterday, I was more impressed with Falkirk, mate. I thought Falkirk played really, really well, and it was really refreshing to see that, a team coming and actually having a go, and no just sitting and parking the bus.
They did. No, I thought they were very, very impressive. But that kind of enforced my point about why I didn't understand, because Brendan even spoke up about them before pre-match and said how good John McGlynn had them. So to play that back four that he played, I thought was really crazy. I just thought, you're playing against a team that are playing with confidence. They're not about, they pass the ball well. They've got runners. The big coloured fella in the right wing was causing us all sorts of problems. You know what I mean? And I just didn't understand the back four selection. Obviously, I heard now that Carter Vickers was injured and Johnson obviously carried a knock and all, but I don't know. For me, again, Welsh and Ralston, they can't be in that back four. And note this, even at the same time as two guys make their debut that have never played together. So for me, it was a total no-go, that back four. That back four were never going to be comfortable. And I think the big boy, Trusty, he didn't do anything particularly wrong, but he looked kind of a wee bit nervous to me. But again, he's not played with these guys, so he doesn't know. He's not got any he's not got any match fitness in him either, because he's not got a ball yet. You know what I mean?
Well, for me, I personally thought he might have started off a bit nervy, but I felt that he was, after that, he was quite composed with the ball.
Yeah. I know, I agree. He did. He came on. He did. That's what I'm saying. He never done anything really wrong. But I think Big Navrosky should have been in that back four yesterday. I think he should have played him because he's fit. He's fit again, and he done.
What's your thoughts on Navrosky, Francis, overall?
I just don't think he's ever had a chance since he came. I like to look at him because and he can pass the ball out of the back four. He's got a great long pass on him. See, when the team they played a few games, if you remember back, he played some cracking balls forward for the back end again.
Yeah.
These players need to play regularly, JP. I think it's like what's his name? Big Ida. Ida, for me, he's a big lad, and I think he needs to be running and playing all the time. I don't think he's going to get to a level match fitness, be coming on for 20 minutes here and 20 minutes there. I think he needs a run of games, but he's not going to get a run of games while Kyogo's still scoring goals. And the other thing about the middle of the park for me, even Hatate, I thought was poor. He gave the ball away, and I've seen this creeping in the last few weeks into his game. I love him. I think he's a fantastic footballer. He's got great vision. He can create a pass. He can score a goal. But I've seen this dwelling in the ball coming into his game in the last, I don't know what you feel about it. I've seen him getting caught in possession so many times in the last 3-4 games that it's starting to worry me a wee bit, to tell you the truth. And I think if anybody's going to get dropped in the middle of that park, it should be Hatate for Bernardo.
Yeah, well, we've actually had a conversation similar to this just before the Champions League game on Wednesday night there. That's one of the things I picked up in Francis. Alan, I know your thoughts on Rio Hatate. I know you love him, mate, but
I think he came in that Champions League game, but it was the best player in the park. I think I can agree the games previously and
the both domestic games, the last two domestic games, he's not showed up the best.
Up to his level. We can all agree on that. But I think he came in that Champions League game and he was incredible.
Fantastic in that game. I mean, but we know he's got it. We know he's got it, Alan. What worries me a bit is I have seen this wee bit of holding on to the ball just a wee bit too long and getting caught in possession. I mean, that one you seen in the first half. You see him and he put his hand up right away, so he knows he's doing it. And you know what I mean? And I think that was the reason, if you remember back to last season, that Brendan stopped picking him for a few games because he felt as if he kept giving the ball away. And he seemed to knock it out of his game and get back to playing the passing quicker, getting the ball and then making the pass. For me, recently, he seems to have started to go back to that dwell on it just a wee bit too long, But again, we can't really complain. The results have been coming. We're still winning games. We're not losing any. So at the end of the day, but I think you've got to come. You're better complaining when you're winning than waiting till you're losing games and then starting to complain about it.
I find it difficult to complain when you're winning, though.
Right back, the right back position. I don't know if you noticed. I actually put 2 weeks ago. I think I put a wee thing in, and nobody picked up on it. See that boy that plays for Hearts, Taylor, at right back. I think he's a cracking player. See the game against Hearts. I thought he played Maeda really well, and he's got tons of pace. And I just like him. I would go for him. If
I'm not too sure how Ryan would feel about having two tailors in your back four. I don't know if a wee man would be able to handle that. We'll try to get him. We'll try to get him warm to the one that's already there, Francis. I'm not too sure how the wee man would want me that one. Having two tailors in your back four.
Made a difference when he came on, a big difference, by the way. Yeah,
No, he did. He did.
He made a
listen,
massive
you miss him when he's not there. But again, I thought the boy Vi looked well, and obviously, but yeah, Francis, I can hear your point there in terms of I do think it's an area of the field. I think
we need to
if
strengthen.
he's not already doing so, I think he will be looking to bring someone else in because for me, Tony Ralston's had more than enough chances now, and I think, but I do think Tony's well liked by the manager as well, along with Stephen Welsh.
You can't.
And I think that's why they're still about the place.
Okay, here's something, right? When you go, Francis, when you go, mate.
Sorry, you can't pick a team on because you like a player. Because
No.
he's a guy. He's got to be able to play
No.
the game.
It's like see Stephen Welsh and Anthony Ralston, right? See if he played for Hibs or Aberdeen, would you sign him? No. So why did he play with Celtic? That's the way I see it. Would you go and sign him if you played with other teams? I get that. No, but see if he played with another team, you wouldn't even give him an Ireland, you wouldn't even look at them. So why
to get in front of Narowski? I don't know about Narowski's son. He must have been playing Chappie, Brendan.
Obviously, lads, we don't know behind the scenes, right?
See, to be fair, I understand why Brendan made all the changes he did because he's wanting to give guys a game. The bottom line is we won the game comprehensively 5-2. I mean, I've seen some comments on social media and various parts of social media, and the way some Celtic fans are speaking, like they've literally took that 2-1 in at half time as if Celtic lost the game at half time.
Would we have won that game if we didn't make the changes? That's the point. But looking at what French players to step up,
you don't know, but I would fancy
players to step up, and
we wouldn't have. I'll tell you right now, we would not have won that game if we'd have kept the same team in the park. I'll tell you that right now because we created nothing until Kuhn and Engels came on the park. We created
you're
nothing.
looking for these players that Brendan started to step up, and they didn't. They seriously didn't step up, and I'm willing to give a pass to guys like Valley, Trusty, because it's their first game. But see guys like Palmer, see guys like Welsh, guys like Ralston. Nah, I'm sorry. Experiment's over. These guys are no good enough to get into your first team. They're no good enough to cover either. So I think there needs to be a few changes and we're back up as well. If he doesn't fancy Narowski, then we need to find a replacement for either Narowski or Welsh, and we need to find a replacement for backup for right back. Because for me, none of these guys are going to be good enough if they're called upon in bigger games.
But the thing is, as well, as we go ahead, obviously the squad is going to be used. I think Brendan's been vocal on that already. But Francis, listen, thank you very much for taking the time with us tonight and coming on and having a wee chat with us again, mate.
Problem. Okay, boys, I'll catch you again.
Cheers, Francis.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye. Thanks again to Francis for taking the time with us on the Monday night to come on and have a chat. Guys, I'm going to put a link in the chat in a wee moment for anyone else that would like to come on. I would welcome anybody new to come on and have a chat with ourselves. If you want to have your say, all you have to do is click on the link and you do not have to come on camera. You can come on through audio. So let me put that in as well. One thing I would ask, guys, you refrain from using bad language and you refrain from being sectarian or any bigoted slurs or even any abusive slurs towards ourselves because you will be removed instantaneously. Bad language gets flagged up, guys, so we can't have the usage of it. So if you want to come on and have a chat about Celtic and what's going on with the team, feel free to do so. But as I say, I'll put the link in the chat in a wee moment. And Ryan, obviously, Francis makes a couple of really good points here. But again, mate, we can't be too bogged in with it, or if, like you says, me, man, I thought it was perfect the way you done it. You need to, at half time, it's not the time to go and start being hysterical about it. I thought it was brilliant when he says that, we could go on and win 5-2. and we went on and won 5-2. So I'm just gutted for you, because you could have made yourself a nice wee small fortune yesterday, mate, had you done something about that.
Aye, obviously, listen, when you go to games and even watching the TV, you're not happy with the first performance. Listen, when you see your team not doing well, you get frustrated. But some of the things I seen as well. Listen, it was very frustrating, and but not every game is going to be 6-0, 3-0, fast, amazing football. When you make so many changes and guys who are new signings, might not always happen right away. And I think the managers alluded to it, that maybe he made too much in hindsight. It's the same in pre-season. See the first half, when you put the first 11 on, you might be 3-0 up. You change it and you might beat full free because it's fringe players or guys who are on trial, guys that aren't fit. Listen, it happens. The first half wasn't good. Second half was much better when guys like Engels come on. Engels' pass for Kuhn's second goal, I think his second goal was tremendous. That's the wee bits of quality that these guys give you in 20 minutes, half an hour. For me, the full positive is you won the game. You've won it 5-2, scored five goals. Kasper Schmeichel didn't really have much today apart from the 2 goals. Yeah, the odds here saved, but it was more the goals were, listen, you can be really, really, really praised of Falkirk. I did actually agree with Kaiser. I thought Valley was filmed for the first goal. I'm surprised VR didn't pull it out. I thought he was pulled back. But the thing is, for me, is it was defensive errors. It wasn't, Falkirk did play nice football, but it was defensive errors that we should not be conceding at that level. Anthony Ralston and Welsh for the second goal. The two of them are no man's land. Ralston's basically where to pick the man up the Welsh should be taking, and Welsh is taking the man he's taking. And
the boys just get on him.
It is pretty poor. But listen, I can say that standing for the stands and in my living room watching it. I can say that. It's easier saying that for here. But the thing is, by looking at the game, the goals were really put to lose. But overall, mate, you're not in our semi-final. The game's done. There's no point in mulling over it too much because it's a cup game. Cup football's at winning. But the main thing is we can take for that game is there's certain fringe players that I don't think you can depend on anymore. People who say Ralston, the Geese's all. But like John says last week, if me and you and Alan play with Celtic, we would begin a all. That's the first thing you do is give your all as a football player. You don't play football in a Celtic team or Barcelona or any team because you give your all. That's not why you're there. So giving your all is part of that, but you need to have a bit of ability and quality to go with that. And I'd like to think that maybe some of the Finnish players, maybe no Ralston, but I think Rodgers will use him again, but Welsh and Palmer, I don't know where they play again the rest of the season unless it's injuries, because they didn't show up very well at all, in my opinion, mate.
What amazes me, Alan, is it's certain individuals that seem to be highlighted. You could argue that, you know, the Celtic team in the first half, they just weren't at the same intensity as we've seen in the European game. And even Callum McGregor, Rio Atati, you know, guys like that, they just weren't at that intensity. You're looking at the 2 Falkirk goals. Ryan's highlighted there about the defending. Okay, the first goal for me is a direct foul on Alex Vai. But the strike itself, I mean, you can't take it. I caught Kasper Schmeichel cold as well.
By the way, see the goal. What's the tatty then?
Yeah, no, it's just ball watching. Exactly, no. But this is what I'm saying about the intensity level, Alan, about the, you know, minds maybe no switched on as much. And during the season, mate, you're probably going to see, that'll not be the first time, probably not be the last time this season either. But I think the important thing is, mate, is how you deal with the, you know, how you deal with that and try and progress forward.
I don't think there's any worries about my first 11. Obviously, we've seen 8 changes yesterday, so my first 11's been playing fantastically well. It's just when we all get injuries and when we do get suspensions, this was the time for these guys to come in and kind of make an impact and say, listen, Brendan, I'm here for the likes of kind of Palmer to come in and go, I'm here. I want in this first team, but it's a waste of a jersey, honestly.
Yeah.
See, that's the only thing that enrages me. As Ryan says there, see, as long as you get 100%, and that guy's got lots and lots of talent, the talent that only us 3 can dream of. He's got loads and loads of talent, but it just seems to be his mind's on the wrong place. He's no the right mindset for a club like Glasgow Celtic, and that's what infuriates me even more about Lewis Palmer.
Yeah. We got another wee caller waiting, but obviously, Alan, I'll let you finish your point. No, I'll let you finish your point, mate. Obviously, but
we can only appreciate that we're winning game, like every game that we're playing. So we can only look at that, but we'll set such a high standard over the first part of the season that we're watching that first half and we're going, that standard's dropped massively. And it has got to be a long season, as we've spoke about. So we are relying on guys like Welsh, like Ralston, like Palmer, like Yang, etc.
Yeah.
To come in an rotational period. But you're right as well, there's no taking away if you kind of like Cal McGregor and Will Hattati. They're maybe no up to the same level and same standard that they've been at. But there's more glaringly obvious players like we've mentioned, like kind of Welsh, Ralston and Palmer. I think that's the three ones that kind of stand out.
See on that what you're saying. See, I've seen people on Twitter yesterday saying, why is McGregor not getting this critical? McGregor will get criticised, but the difference is, see, on Saturday, McGregor will be tremendous. Next week against Dortmund, he'll be one of our better players. But these guys turned up week in, week out. They're allowed the odd bad performance. You can't criticise a guy for having a bad 45 minutes or a bad game. Not one player can play good for 90 minutes. Not even Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe play well every game. But it just seems to be that there's got to be...
It's reoccurring. It's reoccurring these players.
That's what I mean. Yes.
It's reoccurring in Ralston. It's reoccurring these attitude problems in Palmer as well. So you can let people... They're all human beings, the players. That's what I keep saying. They're human beings. They make mistakes. They're not going to be the optimum constantly. But you're looking at guys that are reoccurring mistakes, that are constantly underperforming, like Welsh, like Ralston, like Palmer. And if they're constantly underperforming, then I'm sorry, guys, but that says to me, if they're constantly doing that, they are simply not up to the level that we require.
Yeah, hold that thought. We're going to get our next caller in. It is the partner of the podcast, Mr. John Mulaney.
All right, lads, how you doing?
Not bad, how you, pal?
Evening, John.
All right, you handsome people.
Nearly.
You nearly got yourself kicked off there, John.
I know.
What can we do for you tonight?
Well, what I'm saying is, see if that boy Valley had Maeda in front of him, do you think he'd have played a lot better?
Yes.
Than that Palmer. I hope Palmer never, ever wears a Celtic cap ever again. He's lazy. He's just all about himself, as Ryan was saying earlier. He just honestly thinks he's fantastic, but he's about as useful as a handbrake in a canoe.
Right, okay. Obviously, Ryan, John's obviously come on there and he's asked the question about Alex Valle. I told you yesterday, I actually thought he still played okay. I know he had a couple of moments again, but he's got to do double work because Palmer's no chasing. When he's not, he's switching off. He's not doing this. He's not. So the lad's got to put in a bit of a shift. I think that's one of the reasons why he was taken off, Ryan. He looked as if he was blown. And again, that could be down to lack of games as well. But I was impressed with what I saw Alex Valle yesterday, Ryan. And I do think, I agree with John. I think if if Maeda's in front of him, we're probably seeing a different lad, right?
He looks technically good going forward. I think he actually might be a left full-back and not a predominant left-back. So I agree with what John was saying. I think if Maeda plays, he's probably got I don't want to say an easier game, but he's got a better task, his debut, because Maeda will help him defensively and let him go and do a bit of donkey work going forward. So I can agree with John. Last night, I'm not going to sit here and absolutely slate Palmer and other guys, but I think Palmer's got a long way back now to play with Celtic. He probably need to have a right good few weeks in training to get himself back, because even before the Falkirk game, he's hard kicked the ball all season. So it's the same with Yang as well. So they guys I thought Yang did do okay, to be fair, when he came on. But I do believe I think a lot of the fan base, I don't want to say gave up, but they're kind of saying to Palmer, listen, son, it's all down to you now, because if you don't show up better than what you're doing, I think January you'll maybe see a wee loan move or a move out of the club, because if that's the standard that he's wanting to come and improve to us, that he's ready to play for this team, then I think you'll need to do a bit better than that, mate, personally.
Alan, what's your thoughts on John's point with Vi? Because Vi looks as if he can play with both feet as well. I felt that was quite impressive yesterday. He was using his right foot quite a bit as well.
No, first of all, with Palmer, I think there might be a job opening for Quad's old job at Subway coming up for Palmer. So I think that might be a wee opportunity arising for the good enduring winger. But no, with regards to Valley, I think it's a reasonable point. As I said at the start of the podcast, I'm willing to give guys like Valley and Trusty a bye. It's their first game with a massive club like Celtic. Yeah. I'm not saying they've done terribly badly, but they weren't maybe we weren't expecting them to be that wee bit better. But it's their first game. They're human beings. Let's see how they got on. I don't want to get on top of these guys that have only played kind of 60 minutes, 90 minutes.
No, I'm on their back.
What?
I'm no near back. See, Palmer should. Oh, right, no worries.
Backs, but I'm not like them. I'll give them the opportunity. I think they deserve the opportunity to kind of adjust and kind of acclimatise to the whole game, the size of the club at Celtic, and the kind of culture of Scottish football as well. So I'm more than welcome them to kind of come in the next games and kind of hopefully they build for us.
Scottish referees as well, Alan. See the way he was pulled back with that FALKIRK player for their first goal. FALKIRK first goal. Mm-hmm. The boy held him, pulled him back into the area.
I was 50-50 in that one. I see where you're coming from. You were saying that's
he pulled him back.
Foul, but I'm 50-50 in that. I don't know if I would be entirely happy if that was given against us, that kind of foul. So I'm kind of 50-50 with that one. You're seeing them good, you're seeing them no good, I think.
Anyway, another thing I know, Hatate keyed up too easily in that game. Fell on the deck hundreds of times, no interested, especially for the first goal again.
I think
honestly, he's
about
as useful. Hatate's about as useful as gloves on a goldfish, now. It's terrible.
John, see the thing is, you've got to look at Wednesday night as well. Wednesday night would have probably took quite a bit out of Rio Hatate as it probably did with Callum McGregor.
Wednesday night took a lot out of me. I had to wait the matches coming
in. The intensity of the game in Wednesday night would have took a lot out of quite a lot of the players, which is probably why we never even saw Kyogo coming off the bench. You know, you look at the running that Maeda done, he's not even in the squad yesterday. Liam Scales, again, man of the match he was given the other night. Again, he's not in the squad. Cameron Carter-Vickers has picked up an injury. Alistair Johnson's got a back spasm problem. So again, these things are going to happen, especially when the squad's being stretched to play at that intensity, then come back and have to, you know, we're currently in all competitions at the moment in Scotland. So you've got to look at it that way as well.
Should we be stretched? Look at the size of your squad. It's enormous. Yeah. But we can't give players game time, right? All because we get rid of the reserve league, everything else. And it's a shame because there's some cracking players in that squad who maybe need some more game time and we can't get them. Don't get me wrong, Wales. I would send him to Wales. I'd send him to Wrexham.
You've got to use the cup games early doors in terms of giving these guys an opportunity to play, John, because if you don't, then there's no other way you can fit them in due to the schedule and due to the calendar. So
that's all because we've not got a reserve league, JP. See if you had a reserve league they could play against other players of similar quality instead of like this, the wee boys all playing with one another. That sounds very, very, very awkward. Right?
I get your point, mate. I get your point. Well, obviously,
I'm just going to leave it there now. Right? And listen, I've got something very, very special for you.
Amazing.
For the 19th.
Amazing.
For everybody who's watching, it's for the wee night of the Morven with Joe Miller. So I've got something special for you. I don't want to tell you what it is, but I think it might be a Henrik Larsson signed tap.
Keep it as a surprise, but
I'll keep it as a surprise. But make sure everybody, it's only a tenner to go there. Me might be in Turkey. I'm going there for new teeth.
Thanks for coming on, John. Take care of yourself.
Always a pleasure, JP. Ryan, Alan. See you later. Hell, hell.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye.
Thanks to John for his comments and participating. Anybody else, guys, the link is in the chat. I have highlighted the link for you if you want to come on and have a chat with us. Please feel free to do so. We've probably got a wee bit of time. We could fit probably one more in before we finish up. Lads, I can understand John's obviously comments, Ryan, in terms of the reserve leagues. But we've had a chat about that as well. And obviously that does hinder quite a bit of us in terms of preparation. You know, you look at as John highlighted there, the B team, and you know, having to play down in the lowland league, and there's not a great room for development there. You're not even able to win anything. There's no really major incentive or anything at all. So again, I think you've got to. It's maybe something you've got to look at. But like I was trying to say to John there, I think you need to. There's got to be a way you fit these guys in somewhere. You know, you've got to put the squad in where you see fit, and obviously the League Cup's probably an opportunity to do that, especially in a fixture against Falkirk. Where else are we going to do it, mate? With the calendar we've got as well, it's hard to do it now because of the as John says, there's no reserve league anymore. Again, you're probably hindered with numbers there again. Like McCown's cup tied. Would he have played yesterday? He probably would have, mate. Let's be honest, he probably would have played as well. Maybe he wouldn't have played Rio at that. He might have played Luke McCown. Who knows? But again, where else can we fit these guys in? They've got to play somewhere.
For me, the reserve league's a massive stumbling block in these guys' development and guys getting game time, because guys like Narovsky came back maybe for injury. Wells no playing with Celtic. Even Wilson, sometimes if he's not on the bench or he's not playing much, getting game time, they can go in and play and get game time. It's good for young boys like Turley as well. Home, if they're not playing, they can get 90 minutes, 60 minutes, and then they can maybe be more prepared. If we're going to bring a reserve league back, I know they used to do it. They should maybe do bounce games once a week. Go down to Burnley, go down to Crystal Palace, Aston Villa.
We've got that game at Glentoran. There's a game in Ireland a couple of weeks.
I think at least once a week or once every 10 days, go down to Sunderland, Man City, Arsenal, Burnley, Chesterfield, whoever it is. Go and take a mix of youth and mix of fringe players down, or guys who commit for injury, and let them play. I know they're not playing for anything, but they're playing to get fit and then show they're still able to play, to come in and play. But if they're not playing at all, like guys like Home can't even go down and play with the B team. They can't play with the B team.
Yeah.
So I know they played. I know Aggie Belkinat played in a testimonial game last season, pre-season, but they can't legally play in the B team through all the mad rules I've got for it. So, but which is in Stoke guys as well. So this FA or the clubs need to come to if it's funding, then they need to try and find a way to get funding back in to help guys develop, because if they don't do that, Scottish football's on its arse, basically, because it's not going to develop, it's not going to get any better, it's not going to progress.
Don't be swearing.
Arse isn't swearing.
You'll end up getting kicked off.
Arse isn't swearing. Arse isn't swearing.
By the way, I'd be
it's not swearing. If we don't do something for that, I think for the young generation as well, because see, when we played football, lads, even if we weren't in a pro youth setup or academies, you were out playing with your pals, just kicking a ball, and then eventually you go into boys' clubs, you go to youth academies, and you went up. I don't see many young guys out playing football now at all. It's just all Xboxes, and I think some mates today because they just don't see any. There's no reason to go and play football anymore. It's no fun. It's just there's just nothing there for these young guys to go up and play football. And I don't know how they go about it. It's not for us to really put a foot on it, but we can put up suggestions. But I do believe either the reserve league or some sort of once a week friendly. I think that's going to happen because I don't see how else these players get developed.
Yeah, we've got the final caller this evening. He's a new caller. I don't think we spoke to this lad before. As indeed Mr. Jerry Lappin. So
it's just not Jerry, man.
Welcome,
how you doing,
welcome
mate?
to the
Yeah,
show,
how you doing,
Jerry. How are you, pal?
All right.
Yeah, fucking bit nervous last call and all that first time.
Oh, you can't swear, Jerry. We need to. You can't swear, pal. You can't have your
Right,
own
no,
swear.
I was just saying, look, he's burning up at Birmingham.
Yeah.
He's written up. They're all raving about him. Why did he not go on loan? We had him on a big contract. Hopefully, like a Belka comes back.
Longer term, Jerry. Personally, Alan, I'll put that one to you, mate. What do you think in terms of Wata? Again, it's a different level for where he's playing with Celtic as well. League One's a different level.
It's playing at the top of League One. Birmingham have obviously they've got quite a bit of money going through their system just now. They paid, it was what, 13 million. It was a transfer record for the lower leagues in England for Chase Stanfield.
Yeah,
Stanfield.
But I think
what did the Wata go for?
He done well for us constantly.
I'm not sure, Jerry. I think it was like 800 grand or something. It wasn't much.
The fee,
You know what I mean? He's worth 5 million. It's mental.
the fee,
why
I
he
think
get
the fee's
home.
undisclosed.
I'm sure it was
Fucking
a
get
million
home.
euros, so it was like 900,
Sorry.
just under 900 grand. But he always done a job for us. I think he didn't let us do much. He was that kind of reliable player. Did he do much special with Celtic? Maybe not, but he always done a job. It was that kind of exactly what it says in the tin. He done what
When McGregor was out, he helped us.
No, so I think would he have gotten to the Celtic first team? No, I don't think so. Would he have been decent again with the weekend? Possibly. But
yeah, but no, I'm talking about. We've given away for 800 grand. Now he's ripping it up in the first division. His price just went from 800 grand to fucking 3-4 million.
Right, Jerry, we can't have you on
saying.
pal.
No,
I'm sorry,
wait a minute. So, that's what you should do at home. Get him to a Scottish club. That's basically what I had to say.
That's a good shout, aye. That's okay. Like one, aye. I'd get away like Hibs or Aberdeen or such and give him a bit of kind of game time, aye. I'd agree with that point.
Right,
Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for taking the time with us, Jerry. We do have
to
move on.
Cheers,
mate.
Thank
you.
Mate. Take care.
Thanks to Jerry for his comments here about Iwata. Probably a forgotten man amongst the Celtic fans, Ryan. Again, because he's not in the building, he's not visual. But again, mate, I think we've spoke at length regarding Tomoki Iwata, and you know, we understand he was sensible, he was reliable, as Alan says there. You know, he done his a turn. But again, going down and ripping it up at League One level, Bosun Lowell done that last season. He came up and came to pre-season with the Celtic team, and he looked like a fish out of water. Yeah, I know we're obviously ready to wrap up, mate, but he has one that a lot of the Celtic fans, I did see comments about him yesterday, and some Celtic fans did miss him and think that he could play a part.
I think he was a steady Eddie 6-7 out of 10 when he played. He was nothing special, but he was never bad. He was just a consistent player. I generally think he's went to Birmingham because I think Rodgers has went, I'll help your mate, his mate out Davis, and give him a good player and help Birmingham, and he'll obviously get game time down there. But obviously I know he's went there to full time. I kind of was a wee bit surprised he went full time, but listen, I think maybe Iwata's now himself with Bernardo come in and the possibility of Engels. I know Holmes there, but he's not playing much. McCowan's come in. he might have been 5th, 6th, 7th choice. So he's probably done his Celtic all the good. He's going down there to try and get promotion. I'm Birmingham will win that league because they've got a pretty good team. They've got a championship level team in that division. So I think I'll do well. And who knows, mate, might see in the Premier League in a few years' time if Birmingham keep going the way they're going.
Yeah, who knows, mate. They certainly have spent a few quid down there to try and get up. And obviously there's a good friendship there with Brendan Rodgers and Chris Davies. So that's probably another reason why that move has materialised a bit.
I think it's probably a good move for a while. He wasn't getting much game time, as I say. I wouldn't have a bad word to say about it. I think whenever he came into the team, as I said earlier, he always he done a job for us. He was always that kind of 6, 7 out of 10, as Ryan says.
Yeah.
He'd always stay decent. I don't think he's ever had really a bad performance when he came in for us. But I think that kind of move to a promising kind of club like Birmingham in that league, they've obviously got a lot of finance and quite a bit of history considering other clubs in that league. I think he'll do relatively well, and I wish him all the best, to be fair. And I think it's kind of onwards and upwards for us. And if we're being honest, we probably could aim a touch higher on Awata, but there's no slight on Awata. I think he's done relatively well whenever he's been asked to for Celtic.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't think he's missed. I think certain Celtic fans might miss him because certain individuals did like him. I don't think he's missed. I've said to you lads as well, I don't even think we miss Matt O'Reilly. That's where we've moved to now. That's where, like, guys like, Luke McCown coming in to cover the strength in the squad, and then obviously Arnie Engels coming in to really take us to a different level again. It has made it very easy for us to forget that Matt O'Reilly is no longer with us, which has been phenomenal, by the way, because I didn't think that we would be sitting here saying this. I thought, we're going to get rid of him and he's going to, he's going to leave a big hole in the team. But that's not been the case. But lads, listen, it's been another very good evening with you, and thanks very much, everybody that's tuned in tonight, and thank you very much for your comments. Thanks very much for the callers. Do appreciate it. Just the next time, guys, watch your language, please, because, as I said at the beginning, it does get flagged up, and it's no use that I've got to deal with the flagging. So, but thanks again for taking the time to come on and give us your thoughts. Let's hope we can, as we move forward, we can encourage more of you to do so. And as I said at the beginning, you don't have to come on camera. You can do it through audio. But as we go, hopefully you'll get the gist of what it is we're trying to do on a Monday night for you. Before I do go, I did say at the beginning, again, I was going to do this. So if any of you have joined late on and missed the start, the Celtic Unrestricted View are hosting a live event on Saturday the 19th of October, and it's an evening with ex-Celtic winger Joe Muller, and we're doing that in the Morven Lounge in Glasgow. The night starts at 7 p.m, runs on to midnight. Tickets are £10, guys. For your ticket price, you are getting an interview with Joe Muller, you're getting a photo opportunity with Joe Muller, and you're getting a live DJ, who is our sponsor of the podcast, Mr. Alec Beveridge, and AB Entertainment. And it should be a good night. Tickets are on sale now, guys. If you want to get them, you can pay your £10 into this PayPal account, RyanClifford9@aol.co.uk. On the night, guys, you will receive a wristband so that you can be identified on the night with us. In the process of getting you there, leave your name if you're going to pay into the PayPal. If you're buying more than one ticket, leave the name of whatever you want to name your party. If it's more than one of you, leave the name who's coming along so we can get you on the guest list in the pub. For anyone that doesn't have PayPal, you can pay directly in the bar. So there isn't any paper tickets for this, folks, okay? It will be a wristband given to you on the evening. It's much easier that way. People are more identifiable. They know that they're coming along to a good night. To give your name, you can even phone the pub if you want to and arrange to do it that way. If you want to send somebody up with the money, it's up to yourself. Or if you've got PayPal, you can pay your money into PayPal. If you don't have PayPal and you know somebody who does, you can get them to do it for you, but they must tell us who you are. Leave a name and a reference, please. Don't forget to do that. Because if we receive £10, me and the lads will just think somebody's buying us a pint. Or maybe a wee cocktail. I get one the other night off a good man off the comments on Friday night while I was live with Ryan and was it Ryan and Barry Barry?
Sell it up for somewhere.
There you go, see, couple of quid, wee man, couple of quid. The big man's adding to the collection on a. Honestly, he does a washing, man. It's like the Lisbon Lions are playing 5-a-side in his back garden. But aye, looking forward to this, Ryan. As I said, it'll be a really good night, mate. Some really good people coming along, and I'm looking forward to it. It should be a laugh.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It will be good. So if anybody does want to come, please contact us on the PayPal. As IP says here, you can pay your money through that. Or if you still need any information, you can contact us on any social media platform, in the community section, YouTube, social media, TikTok, anything that you can get us on. We'll be on there to help you out if possible. But yeah, a brilliant night to speak to Joe, and obviously join me Celtic fans. Have a good Celtic night. It's always good to meet fans and be around Celtic fans. It's always a good night. So looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll see men these year.
Are we allowed to swear? Well, definitely not me, and definitely not the lads, and definitely not Joe, because you will be asked to leave the premises. But, my good man, as we were just chatting about you there, you bought me a cocktail, so you can maybe chuck a swear word outside or whatever if you want to do that, but that's fine. But, aye, as I say, on here when we're live, we try not to swear. You know, there's other words you can use, and yeah, that's it. Either that, you can take that as a threat or whatever you want, you know, whatever it is. Cocktail without the tail. But no, please, we want to see the majority of you coming along. If you can make it, great. If you can't, you'll miss yourself a good night.
About 7 o'clock. I think the plan is that we will be kind of kicking off about the interview about 7:45. I'm sure that's
ideally, ideally we would love everybody to be there so that when Joe is probably going to be starting with us about 8 o'clock, right? So ideally we would like people to be there for the start, because when we start the interview with Joe, we don't want people walking in the door as that's happening, because you know yourself, mate, it could cause quite a bit of disruption. So ideally we would like people to be there for 7 or just after. And it's tickets are £10. I know yourself, Plunge, had been asking, is it £20 or is it something else? But no, all in, your ticket price is £10. From tomorrow, the pub will have wristbands. So I will reiterate to anyone at all, if you want to go to the pub from tomorrow, probably afternoonish, the pub will have some wristbands in the premises. So they will be willing to take your name and put it on the guest list for you, and then obviously on the night you'll get a wee Celtic wristband. I think I'm very excited to the colour of the wristband, boys, and all anything else, if I'm being honest. But above all else, Salmon. We've no hoodies, by the way, so he's no John Maloney's no in attendance, he's no coming, he's no bringing hoodies, blah blah blah. But yes. Above all else, take care. Thanks very much for your time, folks. Guys, it's been emotional again. Thank you very much. And we will see you all again. Bye-bye.
Bye.